Hello and welcome to Xero News Uncut. My name is Xero.
And I'm Bobby once again.
Hey, right, so we might as well get straight into this like normal then. So straight over to Bobby for the AEW stuff.
All right, so we actually have AEW results because it's Wednesday, and we usually record Wednesday, and they were on Tuesday this time. There it is. He just decided to move shows just for the heck of it. No. So we started with Best Friends versus Death Triangle for the Shios Championships. Death Triangle always does their crazy moves. In the end, not shocking, Death Triangle won, and I believe it was Phoenix pinned Trent, which was weird. Usually Chuck Taylor takes the pins there. I knew Orange Cassidy wasn't going to take the pin, but then I'm not going to do the backstage stuff because whatever. Next we had Shida versus Toni Storm for the interim AEW Women's title. Again, nothing shocking here. Toni Storm wins, but after the match was just complete chaos. Hayter and Rebel attack Toni Storm. Then Britt Baker comes down. Saraya jumps her on the stage, and then to even the odds even more, a returning Riho came in and joined the party, and I can't remember the last time I've seen her.
Did you see all the stuff about Rio last night? As soon as she showed up, everyone was like, Hunter's finished, Rio's saving the day, Rio's killing off the NXT. I was like,
oh, yeah.
For God's sake, no chance in hell.
I can't remember the last time I've seen her on TV.
Yeah.
Honestly. But yeah, that happened. Obviously, this is leading to Saraya versus Britt Baker, I think, at the next pay-per-view. I mean, they've definitely cleared her if she's jumping Britt Baker and punching her. So then, the MJF promo with Regal. Did you happen to see this or no?
No, I didn't see any of it.
I would go watch this if you, yeah. It's one of the best promos, and it's so real. Like, he pretty much talked about how he had to fight his way and how Regal wouldn't give him a shot back in the day. Not back in the day. This was only like 7 years ago. But it was crazy. MJF just went so serious.
I might have to have a look at it. And that was sort of the only AEW stuff I watched, though. So, you know.
Yeah. No. And I can't even do it justice, honestly. I can't say some of the comments he said, but
it was that bad.
well, not that bad, but like, you'll see when you watch. But Regal wouldn't give him a shot, and that's the whole thing. Now MJF's fired up because of that, and now Regal was saying like how things have changed. They couldn't train these kids like they used to back in the day, that kind of thing. Then we had Chris Jericho versus Dalton Castle for the ROH World Championship. Now, do you want to give the news on ROH, or shall I?
Well, from what obviously is going around, it's obviously that ROH stuff, and it's all rumours at the moment. But I mean, you can't obviously from what you've seen or whatever, unless you want me to. It's entirely up to you, really. I don't really mind.
I like to hear your takes on AEW.
Well, obviously, from what the rumours are is that come Friday they're making a big announcement in regards to ROH and having a streaming deal. Now, there's been a few people out there advance warning people that they're going to need a HBO Max / Discovery subscription for this, because that seems to be where it's going to. This is going to be the stage one of moving everything, because obviously you're obviously not in the UK, so I don't know whether you obviously are aware of what's going on over here, but over here in the UK, BT Sports, which is obviously the primary supplier for WWE over here, they've actually been purchased by Discovery. Discovery Warner's actually brought out BT Sports, and they've already sent out press releases and statements to say that by 2024 latest, all the BT Sports channels are being scrapped completely, and all sports is moving to streaming. They're putting it all on Discovery Plus come 2024, basically. But the interesting thing about that is obviously Discovery is Discovery Warner now is the main carrier for AEW.
Yeah.
And the policies here, the policies that WWE actually have, thanks to Nick Khan, is if WWE's on a channel, they are not allowed to broadcast any other wrestling on those channels. So in the UK, it seems to be that because the thing was they're trying to purchase the rights out for AEW for over in the UK as well. But obviously, if they do that, then it means that they won't be able to air on Discovery either. So I don't know what the hell they're going to do with that one, because if they obviously acquire the rights to AEW, then the UK might not even end up having any AEW streaming over here if it all goes to that way. If that's the way it all goes in the end. So, but no, so yeah, so the news, like what we were saying, Ring of Honor apparently getting a streaming deal, going to be announced on Friday somehow, probably by Tony on social media, I expect. Bang.
This Friday?
Apparently, that's what I've been seeing. Is that a few people are saying it's going to get announced this Friday? Yeah, that's what I've been seeing from a couple of the rumors and that online. Is they're going to announce it this Friday and it's coming very soon. They haven't given any dates or anything like that yet for it seems, but that's all it is at the moment.
Yeah, probably the start of 2023 or something.
Probably. I expect so.
Yeah,
probably.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think they deserve a TV deal. So I mean, this is the best thing. Because, they already went bankrupt once as a company.
Well, they can't get a full TV deal, so streaming's probably the best they can get.
Yeah, for sure.
Tony messed up, didn't he? So he can't get a TV deal anyway out of it.
Yeah.
Best he can do is streaming.
I mean, with streaming, you could do whatever you want. You could air it whenever you want. You don't have to worry about ratings. It's like,
Yeah.
All right, back to this. Jericho defeats Dalton Castle for the ROH World Championship to retain the ROH World Championship. Nothing really of note. Jericho hit the Judas and won. Now on to the most interesting part of the night and scary. We have Hangman Adam Page versus Jon Moxley for the world title. Now, I was watching this live. Moxley hit a lariat on Page, and Page landed pretty awkwardly. Didn't really think anything of it. I'm waiting for him to get up. All of a sudden, they just ring the bell, and match over. And everyone's like, And I was like, oh, maybe they did this to, delay it a little. But there was still 9 minutes left in the show. And I was like, huh. And they couldn't... They wouldn't put the camera on Page. They were scrambling. You could tell they were scrambling to do something.
Yeah.
And I mean, they went to commercial pretty abruptly, and I was like, okay, something is really wrong.
Well, there was a few rumors from apparently some people in the audience who were saying that at one point the AEW doctor was performing CPR on him. Basically, apparently at one point, that was some rumors that I've seen going around. Obviously, that's not confirmed or anything like that. But apparently there was apparently they were performing CPR on him in the ring, so it was that bad. Apparently, that's why they didn't put the cameras on him or anything.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. I hope that's not true. But I know they stretchered him out just as a precaution. He's fine. It seems, just a concussion. Well, I mean, for what I mean, he was knocked out. You could tell.
Yeah. So, to be fair, I've seen some of the images afterwards. Actually, when it was going around Twitter, I was like, "What's this?" I was like, "Have they killed someone finally? Are they going to get cancelled because of this?"
I mean, he did a flip, and I think he was TKO'd by the time he hit the ground.
Yeah,
because he just face planted into the ground, like his body just went. But he seems he's all right. He was tweeting. He was in good spirits. MJF had a funny tweet. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I haven't. No.
So he tweeted last night, prayers for Hangman.
Okay.
And about 5 hours later, he tweeted. He goes, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was along these lines. He goes, turns out he's fine. I regret wishing him well.
Okay, fair enough.
So he had to of course, he was out of character for that tweet, but he had to come back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could tell something wasn't right because Moxley just wished him well, and it was like, well, these guys wanted to kill each other. And yeah, I mean, he's fine. So they had to wing it, and MJF came out, said he's cashing in his chip at Full Gear, and I will be at that show. So hopefully I will see MJF take home the world title. And I'm not sure if that was the plan last night. Maybe we'll find that out. But they had to do something with like 5 minutes left, so they got MJF out there, and
makes sense.
Now we have the main event for Full Gear in Newark, New Jersey, November 19th. MJF and Jon Moxley.
Yeah, fair enough. That's pretty good.
And like I said, I will be there. So
we might be able to get something from there, but we'll have to have a look. One other thing I've seen anyway this week about AEW is, have you seen Ace Steel been released?
Oh yeah, that came out today. I mean, it's about time.
Yeah, well, they needed to get something sorted out, didn't they? So
I mean, this may be an unpopular opinion. I still think they should get rid of CM Punk.
Well, yeah, but he's got that job thing, and at the back now, or whatever I think it is.
Yeah, that I don't understand that one. How? I don't know.
I think that's more to do probably with the network. They probably wanted to get him in, and that, and then I reckon it's Discovery paying him.
And then they realized,
yeah, and of course it's all like contract stuff, isn't it? But it's...
And then they realized, well, we have a lunatic on our hands. So.
Yeah, this is why Fox didn't want him.
Yeah.
That's why Fox and WWE didn't want him. But no, so that's obviously that one. And also apparently the Bucks have been re-added to the intro video or something. So it looks like they're coming back. So
that, and they were mentioned last night. I mean, it's them and Omega. They were gone too long. It was just I'm not super fans of them, but like for them to be off TV for near 2 months now because of this, because CM Punk was threatening to sue and all that. It's just like, come on.
Yeah, well,
they shouldn't have been suspended in the first place, but that's
Yeah, well, CM Punk likes to say he's going to sue, doesn't he? So yeah, it's his thing.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah, right. Well, that seems to be the AEW side of things done. So then, shall we move on now to let's just do a quick review then. So
you want to do Raw quickly?
Yeah.
We're gonna go through Raw rather quickly because we got a lot of NXT stuff with the pay-per-view this weekend. So the main parts of Raw. Oh no, where'd it go? Oh great. I have last week's Raw results. I don't know where.
Well, obviously the main event we had Rollins versus Riddle, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rollins defended against Riddle successfully. Yeah. Sorry, I was on the wrong one. The OC won their first match back. Shocker.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin returned with a new gimmick with JBL.
And there's I managed to get an image from that a little bit. So there's there's his new little gimmicky thing. So yeah. I don't know what his gimmick's meant to be now.
Yeah. Elias returned.
Yeah.
Was there another return? No, right?
No, the only other thing that we had was obviously we had Cora Jade on Raw and Cameron Grimes on Raw for like a couple of minutes and that just to do their picks and that for last night's show.
Yeah, usually we have more Raw, but with AEW this week and Halloween Havoc on Saturday, which I will unfortunately be missing. But if now that due to the ending of the show last night, I will make sure I'll be watching that match one way or another.
Yeah.
Oh, but all right.
Yeah, but no, that's what else do we have this week. That's it. So last night's NXT, and we might as well go into that one now. And Simmons obviously brought that one up. So
let's do it. I got it right here. Do you want to take the first one because I missed this match?
Yeah, well, so the first match, and we opened up then with it was Roxanne versus Rhea Ripley. Pretty solid match throughout. They had Rhea being dominating as it was. At ringside, we did actually have all of the Judgment Day come out, so you had them all there. They all showed up for So nice little surprise. It was originally just going to meant to be Rhea, but they all showed up. Rhea she just ended up hitting a Riptide and bang, done 1, 2, 3. Pinned Roxanne for the win. So yeah, nice, good little match. Good little opener that was.
I didn't think Perez was going to win that, but I think I'll get into why later.
Oh yeah.
Then I came home. Backstage at this is right when I got home. It was now. I'll gladly, not gladly, but I'll admit, my prediction for Stack's opponent.
Way off, wasn't it?
Way
off. Yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, "Wow, was I off?"
Yeah.
I would have never guessed. Because
my original thought was, because I was actually saying to somebody last night, because we were sort of doing a live sort of chat as we were going about it, and somebody turned around and said, "Oh, who do you reckon it is?" And I said, "Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if HBK sort of swerves us and gives us Tony as the actual opponent. So he reveals he's not actually injured and he faces Stacks." I was like, that was my first thought, is that it's actually going to be Tony who's just going to drop the crutch and then just go, "It's me," because of how they were playing it out. But no, when Nakamura's music hit, oh my god, I was like
Nakamura.
I was like, that's good.
Because it was like, to me, it was like D'Angelo handpicked the opponent. And it's like, well, how did he get? Obviously, in wrestling terms, how did he get in touch with Nakamura and come in?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? So
yeah,
but
I mean, Nakamura wins that one, of course. Apparently, the appearances for Nakamura are coming on NXT. So
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Will he be on NXT full time? I doubt it.
No, I don't think we're. No, I don't think that one. Yeah, obviously before that as well. We did have the backstage segment with Grayson Waller. And a little bit. The Chucky segment as well.
Yeah, that was next written. Oh wait, is that out of order?
Yeah, it was. It was out of order. Yeah,
I see what. Okay, so it went to commercial break. The Waller thing happened, and then okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Yeah. Grayson Waller was being interviewed, and of course, Chucky comes up from behind and says it's going to be a spin the wheel, make the deal. Now, I sent that video to my horror friends. Now, most of them have zero idea about what's going on in wrestling, and they were like, "What is Chucky doing on wrestling?" I was like, "Well, they're both on USA. Chucky's going to be at the pay-per-view Saturday again." They're like, "What?"
But have you seen why they've done it that way as well?
No.
Because on next week's episode of the new Chucky, the new Chucky season that's come out.
I haven't watched, but I know. I know they have a new season.
Yeah, on next week's show, they've actually got Liv Morgan on it. Liv Morgan's actually filmed some scenes with Chucky, and she's because originally, she was tweeting out teasing that she wanted to be killed by Chucky.
And I remember that.
Yeah, that was one of her main things, that she wanted to be killed by Chucky, and it was finally revealed in the end. The reason why she's been tweeting that out is because she is on the show. I think it's next week's episode, and that where she's on there, and it's and that's what it is. They're kind of doing a WWE Chucky crossover on it, and
that's cool.
I have heard there might be a few murmurs of Liv might not be the only one on there. They may have a couple of other ones coming up, basically. So
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Well, Alexa's been filming something as well, so I don't know what that's been about, but Alexa Bliss has been filming stuff as well.
Yeah,
so I don't know if that's anything to do with it. Yeah, it's just a murmur at the moment. Obviously, there's nothing that's not confirmed or anything. So
yeah. So Chucky's got authority power. My horror friends are like, huh?
Yeah, why is Chucky on that?
Why is Chucky wrestling? And I'm like, well, he's not wrestling. He's just And that wasn't the last we see of Chucky. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Spin the wheel, make a deal. Apollo Crews versus Grayson Waller Saturday at Halloween Havoc. We'll get into that. We said Nakamura.
Yeah.
Then next we had Nathan Frazier backstage. Robert Stone. Okay. We had Alba Fire versus Sonya Deville. Fire defeated Alba Fire defeated Sonya Deville. Shocking, I know.
Yeah.
Then Toxic Attraction. I'm sorry. Then JC Jane and Gigi Dolan helps Deville beat down Alba Fire, but then the return, and I'm very happy to see her more than usual. Mandy Rose, welcome back.
Yeah.
That was cool. I didn't think she'd be there till Saturday due to the unfortunate passing of her brother a few weeks back. Now, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it's about 2 weeks ago now. Was yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, nobody would have questioned if she didn't show up till Saturday. I didn't think she would, but hey, good for her. So, I keep wanting to say Kaylee Ray. Alba Fire kind of stood tall.
Yeah.
Against Mandy, which is interesting.
It depends, obviously, how they're going to do it now. So, are they doing the typical WWE thing where if you stand tall, you're losing at the pay-per-view, or are they swerving us all this time and they're going to have it that they're doing it where she stood tall, make people think she's going to lose, and then she gets that belt off Mandy, so Mandy and Toxic can come out to main roster. That's the next thing. Really,
we shall see. I'll get into that later with our predictions. Next week we had Wesley versus Oro Mansa versus Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Hayes and Williams defeated Lee and Mansa. Wesley took the pin, shockingly to me, from Carmelo Hayes.
That's weird. I don't get why they've done that one.
I have a theory on that.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that one then. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into that. As long as it's not as bad as my last week's theory about about who Stack's opponent is, but we won't.
Yeah, no.
Just edit that out.
Yeah, I'll go in and edit that one out. Yeah.
We'll forget about that. Then we had Braun Breaker's interviewed backstage. He put over Kevin Owens big.
Yeah.
Then they talk about the triple threat. And then next we had the Schism in a 6-man tag versus Cameron Grimes. Woo!
Cameron Grimes to the moon.
I love how your accent went away.
Yeah. To the moon.
Versus the Good Brothers, obviously Grimes and the Good Brothers win.
Yeah.
No surprise there.
Yeah.
Veer Mahan was interviewed backstage. He asked what he whispered in Sanga's ear. Veer refused to answer. Sanga showed up. Veer was pleased, and they walked off. Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark signed a contract for next week. There's 2 tag title matches next week. It is Zoe Stark and Nikita Lyons versus Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. And then the other one is Pretty Deadly versus Idris. I can never remember their names.
Yeah, I can't remember either, but yeah, it's those
Idris and Nofe, or maybe that's the same guy. Idris and Malik Blade and
that's
Idris and Nofe. Yes.
That's it, yeah. That's it.
Sorry.
I forgot the name said as well, yeah.
Those, and then we did Julius Creed versus Julian Creed, Damon Kemp were side by side. I like Julius Creed, but he really needs to work on his acting.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely.
But I mean, over time he'll probably get it. Then the host of Halloween Havoc. I don't know how none of us saw this coming. Exactly. She just screams Halloween.
Yeah.
Good for her, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course we had that little section where it was who were they going to do? Like it was either going to be Zion Quinn or Quincy Jones. Not Quincy Elliott. Quincy Elliott. That's it. Why do I say Jones for? Yeah, Quincy Elliott. Yeah, and that to decide who was going to have it, and it was decided that Quincy's the co-host. That's going to be a weird one. I don't know how I feel. I would have thought Zion would have been better because obviously Zion and Shotzi actually know each other in real life as well. They hang around and stuff as well. So
Isn't Zion dating one of her good friends?
Yeah, that
married to one of her good friends.
Yeah, I can't remember what her name is, but they even do
Harley Cameron or something.
That's it. Yeah, because they've even done that music video together recently. Her, Scarlett, and which everyone's been raving about. So so I would have thought they would have worked well together, and it was weird that they've included Quincy in it, but I don't get that one. It's
our friend. Our friend Fake Tony Khan loves Quincy Elliott.
Yeah. Yeah, big time. Yeah, I've seen those comments. Yeah, it's yeah, but we won't get into that.
Yeah,
So,
we won't, and we can't get into what he says.
yeah,
And it's his
legality
birthday tomorrow.
issues.
So, yeah, it's his birthday tomorrow, so we won't add him yet. Yet.
Yeah,
That's for next week's show.
yeah,
Like Xero said, Quincy Elliott defeated Zion Quinn. He's now the co-host of Halloween Havoc. Now, sorry to interrupt, but is this the first Halloween Havoc on Peacock?
yes, it is actually. I think.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Because when did they bring this back? 2020.
I think so. Yeah, but then but then don't forget last year's one was a TV special. I'm sure it's a TV. Yeah. The last one was a TV special. So obviously that was USA Network. So yeah, so this is going to be the first kind of pay-per-view one on Peacock that they're going to be doing. So I'm hoping they go all out for it. I really am. I'm hoping they go all out for it.
I think they will. Now with Triple H in charge, and we have some surprises looming. We'll get into that.
Oh yeah.
So next we go to Chase University. Mr. Chase gives a rundown of Halloween Havoc's story and history, including Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair, Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero, and Mandy Rose starting her long title reign.
Yeah.
And also the Yeti.
He was cool. He was cool.
Their homework is to watch the show this weekend because, they'll be there. Chucky again showed up on screen and cut a promo straight out of Chase U cursing up a storm, which I loved. And it ends with Thea Hale going, "What the bleep?" Then next we have Raquel Rodriguez versus Cora Jade. Oh, sorry. There was the contract signing for Pretty Deadly and Malik Blade and Idris Anafe. Raquel Rodriguez versus Cora Jade. Jade won by DQ. So Jade won, Cora Jade won, and Raquel Rodriguez lost, which I'll get into. Perez made her way down, super kicked Cora Jade, but Cora Jade ran away.
Not much happened really after that. Really, it's just then they were just explaining about the weapon.
Yeah, I was reading. Kevin Owens made his entrance. He was there to make sure Braun, Ilya, and McDonough didn't get physically involved. Which
we've got to say it properly now. It's JD Muck. Don't Google me. Did you hear that?
JD. Yeah, I saw his video. JD Muck.
JD Muck. Don't Google me. That's funny. That was hilarious when he did that.
Yeah, and when he was trying to, he goes Dragunov and his first name, which I won't even try and pronounce because I will not do it justice. It's Ilya, right? Or
Ilya, yeah, Ilya Dragunov.
Dragunov, yeah. So, all right, Owens did a terrible job of making sure this stayed cordial. So, Owens comedically apologizes to HBK, making sure everyone pauses so he can bail. Of course, back and forth. Ilya holds up the title, which we all know you don't do. That means you're going to lose. But the music hits.
Yeah.
A-Town down. And he just holds up the briefcase while staring down Ilya, which is a very interesting matchup in itself.
Yeah.
End of show. Now, I'm a big Austin Theory fan. We've been over this.
Yeah, as we know, yeah.
I've wanted him to cash in on Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I'm completely okay with this happening. With him going for the NXT title.
Yeah. Well, I was going to bring something up on this one anyway. So, I mean, I don't know whether you've seen my feed a couple of days ago on Twitter. I mentioned that Raw is due to, by 2023, have a title counted down as the main event title on it for a little bit, being defended, but it won't be a World Heavyweight Championship. Now, there's some murmurs that it's an NXT title. Now, this is what's making me think that maybe they're going to have Theory cash in, win it, and then defend it on Raw, because I know that I have heard it's either going to be the NXT title or they're going to bring in the European title. They bring back the European Championship, basically. for, because how it was described to me is the belt they're bringing on in is just temporary until they work out how to get them bloody titles off Roman and how to split.
You can't get this guy to show up to work, so you got to bring a whole new title.
Yeah. So what they're doing is then so they're bringing in a title. It's going to be one associated with NXT. Originally, it was going to be the North American, but they decided to scrap that one in the end. So it's either now going to be the European one, and then they're going to set it up so that when NXT Europe launches, whoever's won it on the main roster will then move to NXT Europe and be their first champion on there for it. Because the European title will be their main belt. It won't be like the NXT UK Championship. The European Championship will actually be like their World Heavyweight Championship on NXT Europe. But now there was also now discussion shortly before NXT last night now that it could literally be the NXT title coming up to Raw for a little bit, and then whoever the champion of it is, be whether that's Theory or whatever, if he cashes in, will come over and do both shows. So he'll be on NXT and Raw, basically defending the championship for a little bit of time. And that could be quite interesting, having Theory on both the shows defending it. All the matchups. Imagine that, Bobby Lashley fighting for the NXT Championship or whatever.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, Brock fighting for the NXT Championship. That was quite. That's
We'll see, but I mean, I wouldn't mind Theory being on NXT for time.
Yeah, I mean, well, it might work out. So just one little thing which I've been sent down because I've actually just been sent it whilst we've been on air.
Right.
It's quite interesting. It's just been said there was a wrestling event this weekend due in Houston, Texas. And Zachary Wentz, which was obviously he was the Dash Carter. He's been pulled from that event for no reason whatsoever. And that it says due to unforeseen circumstances, he's been pulled from that event. And surprisingly, it's on the same day in the exact same time as Halloween Havoc this weekend. And people have also noticed as well that he's not injured because people at the last event said he's not injured. People who know him have confirmed he's not injured. And he's just suddenly started following WWE again on all socials. So it's like, could he potentially show up Saturday? That's a bit of a thing. I haven't obviously been able to confirm that bit yet because I've literally, as we've been recording this, I've literally just been sent it now just to say, this is a bit of breaking news and stuff like that. So there we go, a bit of breaking news for anyone who listens to this afterwards. But
so I was right, just 3 days too late.
So that could be quite interesting if he shows up on Saturday, maybe to help Wesley win the
or cost Wesley.
Yeah, it could be that. Yeah, and then they feud, don't they, for a little bit? So it could be that. Yeah.
But if Wesley doesn't win that belt, I don't know who does. I don't think Carmelo's winning.
Yeah, no,
we'll get into that.
Yeah, I think Carmelo's coming up, but that's cool. Yeah, so then we might as well talk about the big event then. So let's get the screen. So the NXT Halloween Havoc then. So as we've already said, the host of it, Shotzi and Quincy Elliott this Saturday. So what was your predictions then for it that you wanted to?
All right, we'll just go back match by match, I guess. There's 6 matches as of right now. I think that's going to stick because usually the NXT shows are 6 matches.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any more.
I'll just go bottom to top. Apollo Crews versus Grayson Waller. Spin the wheel, make a deal. I'm not even going to attempt to figure out what match they have in mind for them.
I think because if you noticed the board last night, there was a little bit which somebody picked up. If you listened carefully to the Chucky promo bit, when it came to it, Chucky mentioned that there's been a special match type added to the spin the wheel, make the deal thing for them, which is eye for eye match.
Oh no!
So they've obviously they've added that one on. So I don't know how they're going to do that because of the whole thing with obviously Apollo Crews and that.
Apollo blinding him, and then Waller got blinded.
Yeah, So whether they're going to do an eye for eye match, whether they'll spin it and it will just accidentally land on on the eye for eye match or whatever, or whether it be posted or not. So
you can get away with that with no crowd, but no.
Yeah, because that's going to be horrendous if they do that.
I think Apollo Crews wins this one. Then maybe Waller will get over this feud and maybe head towards the title. Maybe.
Quite possibly, yeah. It depends whether he obviously stays or whatever. He should stay, I would have thought. I don't think he's...
I think he's staying. I don't... Now that he put to bed the rumors of him being in the Wyatt Six, I think he's staying put. For sure. Who do you got?
Yeah, I think Waller might win it. I mean, it's...
Oh, you have Waller.
Yeah, because I don't think Apollo's sticking around for too much longer. So maybe they have... Yeah, so maybe then have Waller, dependent again on the match type to what they choose, is maybe that Waller wins it and then writes Apollo off of NXT so they can get him back onto main roster for a little bit. Because I know the Apollo stint was only meant to be short anyway. It wasn't ever meant to be a long permanent one. So it could simply be that it is they write Apollo off this weekend or whatever for a little bit of time.
Yeah, I just think Apollo wins because he's got to get the revenge. Waller's already beat him once.
Yeah, could do. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? So.
Then we got Julius Creed versus Damon Kemp in a ambulance match. Now, if Julius loses, this is such a confusing stipulation. If Julius loses, Brutus Creed will have to leave NXT, not Julius.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
I don't know why. That doesn't really change my mind. I think Julius wins this one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they're going to send one brother. I don't think they're going to send one brother up and keep the other brother. Because, of course, he won't actually be leaving NXT. For anyone out there who does actually think he's going to be, getting fired or whatever, he's not. He's one of them, which, if that does happen, one of them will obviously get called up. But I can't see why they would call one up and not the other. That's strange. Very strange.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I never got that why the stipulation was made that, but next we got Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade, spin the wheel, make a deal, weapons wild match.
Yeah.
Who you got?
I'm a little bit stuck on this one. I personally think maybe Roxanne, maybe she'll get the revenge back and everything that she's been doing, and finally get that win against Cora. And then maybe go on and fight for the title or something like that. Maybe go on and do title stuff and that again. Maybe afterwards. I don't know. Possibly, yeah. But no, I'm going to go Roxanne. I'm going Perez.
I agree. Cora beat Roxanne at Heatwave, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And having a weapons wild match, Roxanne can go crazy.
Yeah.
And it saves Cora. She's going to take the pin. But it does save Cora if she gets hit by she gets hit by 30 chairs or whatever, it saves her.
And you never know as well, obviously, in a weapons wild match like that as well, you can also have interference, so you never know who could come down, obviously, help out and stuff. So, they could have friends and stuff. Yeah.
That's where he comes into play, shocking the world. Next, we have the 5-man ladder match for the vacant North American Championship. We got Carmelo Hayes, Oro Mansa, Wesley, Von Wagner, Nathan Frazier. Who you got?
I personally actually think Nathan Frazier. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, I've just got a little feeling that it could be Nathan. I don't know why. It's just a little niggling, sort of thought in my head that they could put it on him because of that obviously best of 3 that he's been doing with Axiom and stuff, and they've really done him up and stuff like that. And obviously he's he was really good and now on NXT UK. Plus as well, of course, he's one of Seth Rollins' sort of students.
Yeah.
And that, so it might, you never know, they might push him. It obviously depends, but who do you think then for it?
So this Nash Carter thing definitely does throw a wrench in, but I'm still sticking with Wesley. I think this was Tony D'Angelo's belt to win the whole time, but obviously they had to call an audible because he got legit hurt.
Yeah.
And obviously he's still not back yet. So I think they're just going to give Wesley a little run until D'Angelo is completely healthy.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. I can tell you this. I don't see Von Wagner winning.
No, I can't see that. No.
I don't see Carmelo Hayes winning.
No.
I'm not sure if I see Oro Mansa winning.
No. Well, personally,
Maybe.
I could see Hayes being called up. I could see Carmelo being called up, so I can't see him winning that because of that one. Maybe Von Wagner, but I don't know. They might call him and Robert Stone up, but I don't know. I don't know on those two. But definitely Carmelo. I can definitely see Carmelo Hayes coming up sooner rather than later.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That one's so confusing. And even if you look at the betting odds, there's no clear favorite.
No, yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah, it's horrendous nowadays. I don't understand that one. I don't really get who's going to be winning that one and who's not really. It's that one's a free for all, really.
Yeah, and I still think it was D'Angelo's tournament to win before he got unfortunately injured.
Yeah.
Next is Mandy Rose versus Alba Fire, regular match as of right now for the NXT Women's Championship.
Yeah.
Who you got?
I hate to say it for you, but I do think Alba Fire's taking this. I do think Alba's taking it. The main reason behind it is I do believe that Mandy will be joining the other two on main roster, and they're probably going to bring her up around about. That's personally what I think, is that they've swerved us this Tuesday when they thought that obviously Alba wasn't going to win. As I was saying earlier on, I do believe that Mandy's finally going to get dethroned, and they're going to put the belt on Alba for a little bit. So, what's your thoughts on it?
I've been going back and forth on this, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with this. This is sticking to this one. Actually, I'm not sticking to it. I can change my mind in 5 minutes. Mandy Rose wins. Not clean by any means, of course, with the help of Sonya and Toxic, and they form a little stable on NXT.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, if that's the case, then then so another question: who do you see then being the next challenger for Mandy or Alba?
That's the reason why I don't want to pick Mandy, because it's like, who's next? I mean, Cora never got a shot. Or maybe she did. Oh, she did in a Fatal 4, but she never got a one-on-one shot. But she's also heel.
Yeah.
So that would work with Alba, but really wouldn't work with Mandy.
Yeah.
I mean,
so who did
Tiffany Stratton, but she's hurt right now.
Well, hurt. We say hurt. Everyone knows the real reason behind it. Hurt.
I mean, her head is hurt, but she used the time off to get,
Yeah.
She's legit hurt, but she had something done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nikita Lyons, it's like, but she's about to maybe become tag team champions.
Yeah.
You said Saray a week ago. But where's she at?
I don't know. That was just a name which I got told, but I personally can't see it now. It's like it could happen, but I don't know. I mean, because don't forget, obviously, if they do put the belt on Alba, they're going to give her a bit of a run with it. So I mean, Saray could be the next one to dethrone maybe whoever it is, or heck, Wendy Chu. They've got Wendy Chu. She's pretty popular and stuff. She might.
That's true.
She might do. Yeah,
I'll say this: with Alba as champion, you have more options that haven't faced.
Yeah.
Like, because Mandy's run through everyone pretty much.
Yeah. So,
but hey, I mean, Mandy said ratings will fall without her as champion, and I mean, she is one of the best things of NXT.
Yeah, well, you would say that, and we know why, but that's a completely different story.
Well, am I wrong?
Well,
she's been doing great work over the last year.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't know. I'll go with Mandy Rose. I'm really not sure. I wouldn't be shocked by any means if Alba pulls it out. Would not be shocked by any means.
Same.
Next is the main event. Braun Breaker versus Ilya Dragunov versus JD McDonough or JD McDonald. If you're Kevin Owens.
Yeah, or JD Muck, don't Google me.
Yeah. I got Braun Breaker.
Have you? You still got Braun? Yeah.
Yep. But
yeah, I think possibly Ilya. Maybe they might put it on Ilya. I don't know, give him a bit of a run, but
do you think? Do you have a theory?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is like, yeah, like what we were saying, it could be. Well, it could be that maybe that Braun does retain, and then and in theory maybe cashes in on Braun because that'd be a bit for him. Obviously, I know it's not obviously the same, but him pinning Braun would be kind of similar to him sort of pinning Roman as such, because of course Braun's been on that massive streak and he's been undefeated, and he's like the big guy in that, and maybe Theory pinning Theory pinning Braun and that, and that could be very interesting. Obviously, if that does happen,
I think. Yeah, I'm not sure if I said this earlier. I think Theory going to NXT full time would be the best thing for him.
Yeah, for the minute.
Because in June and July, he was one of the hottest things.
Yeah.
But now.
Well, now since Vince has left.
Vince left, but you got Cross.
Yeah.
Gargano.
Yeah.
Braun. Bray Wyatt, and I'm sure I'm forgetting about people who came back and returned.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Some guys are bound to get lost, and unfortunately, he's one of them.
Yeah.
But if he goes to NXT, he'll be one of the top guys.
Yeah, and I can see Shawn. I personally can see Shawn pushing him more than what Triple H would, because I think maybe Triple H, because I know Triple H's whole thing. What I've been told is that by the end of this year, he wants everything Vince gone, and obviously Theory was a Vince creation, really. So it's like, well, I say Vince creation, but Theory was obviously very much like Vince, really. So that's obviously what it's going to be. So maybe then he has been pushed over to NXT, so then Shawn can deal with whatever he wants to, and Shawn can obviously deal with it, or it saves him getting buried on main roster.
He could be like a Grayson Waller type guy on NXT. Like Grayson Waller's been killing it, and he's gotten one title shot. He hasn't even been near the world title, and it's like, I'd be cool. I'd be cool with Theory on NXT again.
It could be. Have a bit of a run on there, even if it's just to April, say when Roman drops the belts or whatever, then they then bring Theory back or whatnot, and that. So
because I mean, he got lost. He got lost with all these returns and Triple H coming in, and I mean, it's bound to happen to some people. It was just unfortunately Mr. Money in the Bank, and it would be the first time ever Mr. Money in the Bank cashes in on NXT.
Yeah, so that would be
gets more eyes on NXT.
Yeah, does especially all the Theory fans, because then a lot of Theory fans will go over to NXT and sort of be like, because obviously he's very popular in that, and obviously with him being, if he is NXT champion, then that could increase the improve the ratings for a little bit, couldn't it? Really, for NXT.
They need like I said, he goes down, Braun comes up.
Yeah.
Because I mean, once Braun loses that belt, what else is he gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah, whack Braun on that, and whack Braun on main roster, have him feuding with a few people. Maybe if he goes Raw, whack him, have him feuding with Lashley, say, for a little bit after Crown Jewel and stuff like that. And
maybe Braun Breaker versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, you could have that. Yeah, as a match. Yeah, because at the minute they've got no match for Lesnar at say Mania, so that could be a Mania match, couldn't it? Like Braun versus Brock at Mania, that could be a pretty big match. To be fair, that would definitely get the eyes on it as well, being an NXT creation. Because imagine then if Braun defeated Brock, if Braun could pin Brock, just imagine that one. Like that would definitely elevate Braun massively up.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then I was thinking about this one because he has the tattoo, Braun versus Goldberg.
Yeah, that could work.
Goldberg puts him over. Braun Breaker takes him down. That would be cool. But I'm going Braun.
Yeah.
I'm not totally sold on Theory cashing in yet.
No.
But if they're gonna make Halloween Havoc bigger and better than ever, they'll do it.
Have that one, do that, have Theory cash in, have him walk out, I mean, obviously, if it's not Theory, then I reckon Ilya. I'm gonna go Ilya if it's not Theory, and that. So
I don't. Yeah. Now, is this the last premium live event for the year?
Well, Well, there may be another one in December. They haven't decided yet because, of course, where they've now cancelled day one, and
New Year's Evil.
yeah, because where they've cancelled day one, there is obviously talks of New Year's Evil, but it's not. That's far from confirmed yet. That's far from confirmed.
If they do New Year's Evil, they would have to run at noon.
Yeah. Well, all I'll say is I will get this is an exclusive as well for all the viewers out there, or for all the listeners out there. I will find out on Friday what's happening in reference NXT going for the rest of the year, hopefully, because we here at Xero News have actually been invited onto the conference call with Shawn Michaels on Friday to actually discuss Halloween Havoc and NXT for the rest of the year. It's actually been put down in there. So so Friday we'll be bringing out a couple of reports, hopefully, from that conference call to what Shawn,
very nice,
to what HBK says basically on that one. So we might have a bit more news on that day about the rest of the year, any pay-per-view plans and stuff like that.
What time should I be there?
What, for the conference call? Well, it's 11:30 a.m. So
just call me in. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I just wanted Xero to be like,
no.
Well,
it's 11:30 a.m. and stuff like that on Friday, so I'll be on that.
That's 4:30 your time. That's not bad for you.
Yeah. So all I need to do is just dial in and listen to HBK talking for like an hour or whatever it is. So that's all it'll be. So we're on that. And thank you to WWE if you are listening for inviting us onto that call. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So it must be. Well, that's obviously Halloween Havoc then discussed then. So
I'll stick with it. If this is the last premium live event of the year, Theory's cashing in. If it's not, if they do the New Year's Evil on December 31st, he'll cash in there. But I do think I'm sticking by this, and we all know how my predictions go. Not well.
Yeah.
Not well at all. I'm sticking with it. I think he's coming for the NXT belt.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's a foregone conclusion now.
Yeah, that he's going to move over to NXT and come for the NXT title. Yeah, it does seem that that's going to be what they're going to do. And then,
why even tease that? You know?
Yeah. Well, like I always said earlier on, and then that would then make the extra belt then on the main roster, which they can obviously bring on in, and that until
and he could work both shows. You know.
Yeah, with both shows. Yeah, having Theory on that will obviously elevate and stuff, and like what you said, it would then elevate up the NXT Championship, and it would also elevate up NXT.
Or maybe he just stays on NXT and they just keep running without a champion. Well, now Seth has the belt, so
I mean, but it might work. But anyway, talking about pay-per-view, seeing as we were obviously on that front, I don't know if you've seen this going around. It's partly correct, it's partly not. The new rumoured 2023 lineup. Now, that's kind of correct from what I've heard, but kind of also not. Now, obviously, we've got the normal Rumble for it, which we're going to have. The Elimination Chamber, now this is interesting. It's still advertised at Elimination Chamber for the minute, but I've been informed that it's actually changing. It's going to be No Way Out. They're actually bringing back No Way Out pay-per-view, and it's going to be No Way Out featuring the Elimination Chamber in Saudi, and that's going to be the new thing going forward. That's going to be No Way Out, and the Elimination Chamber is going to be Saudi exclusive. So that's an event cool. which they will get. We then obviously will have Mania.
That might get cancelled. I heard.
What, Mania? Yeah, well,
WrestleMania, it's tossed. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
don't leave me a part in the comments.
Some of the idiots online believe that when I broke down the news of gimmick shows are going, they're like, "Oh, that means WrestleMania is going." It's like, no, WrestleMania is definitely not going. You
WrestleMania,
idiots.
Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. Those are all pretty.
Yeah, they're all saying. Well, there is a small murmur that Money in the Bank might be getting scrapped.
Really?
The Money in the Bank. The Money in the Bank pay-per-view might be getting scrapped because they may be including Money in the Bank back into Mania and having the ladder matches actually at Mania.
That would be awesome.
Because otherwise, if you think about it, because literally you've got an entire pay-per-view dedicated to Money in the Bank for only 2 Money in the Bank matches. So what's
That
the
would
point
be
in that
awesome.
when you might as well move it on to Mania again? Then that way,
And
then
it get-
technically, then
one Money in the Bank match per night gets
Yeah.
more people on the card. Yes,
Yeah.
that would be
yeah,
that
and
would be awesome.
yeah. So they might be scrapping that. And one of the interesting things as well, which I found out, is the King of the Ring pay-per-view's coming back for next year,
Yeah.
and it's going to be King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring. Now, one of the stipulations which I've been told from it is, you know, where obviously at the minute the winner gets the title of King or Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Triple H is discussing actually having it that the winner of that gets a future title shot for any title of their choice. Whereas obviously,
24/7.
Yeah, well, whereas like obviously the Money in the Bank is for a world title, this one could be for any title. So say like again Xavier Woods, for example, him and Kofi he could then use his King of the Ring cash in opportunity to cash in for a tag team championship match at any time and stuff, and it can be on any show, any time. You know, it doesn't have to be like any. They've only obviously got the same as Money in the Bank when they've got a year to cash it in and stuff like that, and but that's quite interesting. Again, obviously SummerSlam staying. They're meant to also then be bringing back every year now as well. We're getting a UK pay-per-view, no matter what.
Unbelievable! They just give anybody a pay-per-view. I'm kidding.
So yes, every year now they're saying because of the success of Clash, we're getting a yearly UK pay-per-view.
I don't blame them by any means.
They haven't decided yet on the name of it. It could be that they are going to bring back some of the old names like Insurrection and
that'd be cool.
Maybe the actual Judgment Day pay-per-view and stuff. They might actually bring that back and
Judgment Day at Judgment Day.
And actually have that as the new UK pay-per-view. But it depends on the location. Obviously, if they go to like Wembley or something like that, or a different stadium that isn't Cardiff, then it will have a different name. If it's a Cardiff, it will stay as Clash at the Castle. But
I mean, Clash at the Castle is a cool name, but also Insurrection and Judgment Day are great names too.
Yeah.
So I'm good either way.
Yeah, well, Triple H wants to bring back sort of the Attitude Era names and the Attitude Era sort of styles. So it's probably going to be a lot of that.
What about like Unforgiven or No Mercy or anything like that?
Unforgiven, and that's been spoken about. They've scrapped now. Hell in a Cell is completely scrapped. That pay-per-view's gone. Again, the Hell in a Cell match is going to be made as a special attraction to like end feuds with. They're saying
it should.
It should be. There's talks now. This is the dodgy one because people are saying about it. There was talks originally about Extreme Rules being scrapped, but because of how successful Extreme Rules was this year, they're saying they might keep it. But then the talk is alongside that is Extreme Rules was only successful this year because of the Bray stuff.
Yeah,
that was why you see. So that's still being debated. They also want to bring in. I don't know when this is going to be. Whether it's going to be next year or the year after. They want to bring in a pay-per-view in another country. They may even replace one of the Saudi shows with it. Now there's talks of Australia getting one again.
Okay.
They want to go to Australia.
Oh, great! I have to get up at 4 a.m. for that show.
Well, the last talks that were going on was either Australia or India for it because India's getting quite popular in that now, and they've been calling out for quite a lot of stuff over there. So so there's talks of either Australia or India, but they haven't fully decided yet.
Hey, why not?
Yeah, and the last new one they're looking to bring in is Evolution again. You know, the Evolution Women's pay-per-view. Yeah, that's Stephanie. She's pushing heavily for that, and she wants another all women's pay-per-view. But what they're saying is for that one is Evolution might run the same weekend as one of the others. So where obviously at the moment we have like maybe main event, say like for example like SummerSlam for example. Normally like SummerSlam weekend we have an NXT pay-per-view and then like SummerSlam.
Yeah,
it's one of the other pay-per-views. So one of them say I don't know maybe where Hell in a Cell used to be in October or whenever it was. I can't remember when Hell in a Cell used to be.
It was June. It was October, but then it was June. Yeah,
well, either October or June. Then what they might end up doing then is making one of the pay-per-views literally men's only, and then having on say like the Saturday, for example, and then the Evolution pay-per-view on the Sunday for women's only, and do it that way, and like heavily promote that, and then have like maybe a women's Hell in a Cell match on that, and and special like gimmick matches and stuff out on it, and it'll feature all that and. going over to NXT as well. NXT are bringing back the Mae Young Classic next year. We're having that. That's going to be early part of next year. They're doing Mae Young. That's probably going to be January, February time. Bring that one in. That will then get new stars in ready for the Rumble season and stuff like that, really, and Mania. What else are they getting? They're getting a lot of the old school pay-per-view names back. Like some of the old school WCW names. They want to bring a lot of them to NXT, and they're going to start doing them as actual pay-per-views like this weekend. So rather than specials, you're going to have loads. You're still going to have loads of specials like the Great American Bash and stuff like that.
I'm glad they brought that one back. I always love that pay-per-view.
Yeah, but then like In Your House is coming back as well, and that In Your House is coming back. But they haven't decided yet whether that's going to be NXT or main roster. There is talk about possibly main roster.
Wasn't In Your House on Peacock this year?
Yeah, but that was an NXT one. But they're saying to try and get the name sort of elevated up again. Yeah. There is small talks at the moment that it might be main roster this year. They might do it as a main roster special, and that could be the one which they might put on as the all male one. So they might have In Your House as all male and then Evolution as the female one. So that could be quite interesting if that's obviously when that goes ahead. But we'll obviously have to see. But 2023, obviously, exciting times for pay-per-views and everything like that. So obviously sort of see what they do really with all that. So,
for sure.
Yeah. But I mean, we've obviously covered everything. Is there anything you obviously want to bring up or?
No, Halloween Havoc this Saturday. Hopefully my man walks out world champ, which would be cool. But if he doesn't, so be it, Yeah. I just hope for a good show. It should be a good show. But
should be, yeah. Well, we'll have some coverage of some sort, whether it's a live coverage or whether it is a review afterwards. But I'll probably be tweeting around it as well for the main Xero account. One other bit of thing as well, I was actually going to break this via the Twitter, but I might as well do it on here to see whether anyone actually notices that I actually speak on here. See whether people actually pay attention to this. Is this coming week, I'm changing things around. Now, I can't say why. There's reasons behind it. But I can't say why.
Do I know those reasons?
No, you don't yet, no. No, you don't know at all.
I'm thinking of something else.
No, you don't know these reasons at all. But everything sort of reporting-wise will be going through the website going forward. So from Monday, all of my all of my rumors and spoilers and stuff like that, we're going to be putting all news either through the site or on the Patreon and then obviously the Twitter account will just redo that. So it'll be sort of similar to Fightful Select, but most of the news will be going through the website. But I'll let you know why after this. I can't say too much, so I'll let you know what I can say and what I can't say in relation to it to why. So, but yeah, there's
people can't hear it. I can. You can't.
Yeah, there's valid reasons why. So that's a bit of news there. Is that everything's going to be going through there, and there's going to be a few changes coming Xero wise over the next couple of weeks. So that's just starting from Monday, there's going to be quite a lot of changes coming to it. So, and that for it with some new staff in as well. Actually, there's going to be some new team members coming in as well.
Yeah, I got fired again.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you got fired again. So
It's like the third time this month.
Yeah, did you? Well, anyway, then before we go, then might as well say, if you haven't checked it out already, check out obviously Bobby's channel, the Bobby's Breakdown one.
Again, I posted my first video last weekend.
Yep. Yeah, I'll put the link in the description again for this video.
And my name on this stream, that's my channel. If you type it in, it comes up.
Yeah. So we'll post that one down on there. Have a look for Bobby's one. I believe he's got some interviews maybe coming up for a few things. Yeah. So, but yeah, he's got a few things on there. We've got a few. I've got a few things in the pipework for this. It is just taking its time. And I'll say bloody WWE for that one. That's their fault, and a couple of other places as well is their fault. But yeah, there's going to be a couple of exciting things coming to Xero Uncut as well over the next coming weeks / months. It's just the final stages. It's just taking its dear sweet bloody time to arrange everything, and that with certain companies involved and certain places and stuff like that we need to do. So, but we'll get all that sorted out. And that, so yeah, but anyway, yeah. So this is that's me done. I don't know anything you want to say, Bobby, or is that you out?
Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I got a Black Adam review coming out sometime this weekend.
It's gonna be good. So yeah. So like, subscribe, tell your friends about Xero, and we'll see you next week, hopefully. Bye.
Bye bye.